Hey guys, this is John, and I'm playing Mega ZZ in the 5-minute pool on ICC. Mega ZZ is an Australian Grandmaster who I played before. His name is Zhao Zong-Yuan, I believe. He's 24 years old, according to his finger notes. Or Zong-Yuan Zhao. I'm never quite sure about the Chinese naming convention, like which name comes first. Someone can enlighten me in the comments. For instance, with like Ho Yifan, the women's world champion. Sometimes I see it listed as Yifan Hu or Yifan Ho. So I'm not sure ever like which name comes first. All right, this is an interesting setup. Actually, my rook e1 move looks kind of dumb in this setup now. Yeah, I need it on d1. I wasn't thinking about that too closely. If I go queen h4, he's going to play h6 and keep my bishop out of h6. So yeah, I'm going to play rook d1 because the rook belongs here. I'm just honestly playing like down a tempo right now, but that's okay. Now they usually play a6. My queen looks precarious with the bishop on g7, but he can't take advantage because like knight e4 doesn't work. Yeah, so here I need to move my queen. If I play queen at h4, can he play knight e4? He might be able to. So I should be more cautious, huh? Maybe bishop b2. Yeah, I'll do bishop b2. I don't think I have any edge here. His move order really confused me. I don't know why, but somehow I got discombobulated. We'll take a look at it when the game's over, of course. So now I have to go queen e3 to hold c3. And I'm just hoping to achieve exchanges on c3. We have the exact same rating. That's kind of funny. b5 might be a good move. Yeah, he sensed that. Because now I might have to take on weak pawns. Maybe knight d2. We can swap bishops. Not too great. Queen d4. He can take here. Queen d4 might be okay. Or queen e3 maybe. Now let's go queen d4. I'll attack a7. So if he takes on c4, I take a7, hitting his bishop. He can take on f3. I take with my bishop. That's okay for me. Let's do that. I could even take with the pawn, but I think I should probably take with the bishop instead. Well, I managed to probably not be worse as white. That's an achievement, right? So he's targeting this pawn. He'd love to win that pawn long term. Maybe rook ab1. It's hard to say whether this pawn, it's kind of too early to say whether this pawn will be a weakness or a strength. Yeah, this is a good move too. Let's go rook d4. He can play maybe queen b8 against that move. Because then queen takes d7 is not possible because I lose my rook. I don't know about rook d4. Queen b8 looks pretty good. Because then I might have to trade the queens and he gets the other rook over. The health of this pawn is not robust in the long term. Yeah. I wonder if my best bet is to take on d7, let him take d4, and just take e7 and try to hold out, basically. I think I'll do that, because otherwise it looks pretty miserable. This might be an overreaction, but I don't know. It seems annoying for him to play. I have a good bishop, a passed b pawn. His d6 pawn is isolated. So with practical considerations in play here, I think this is fine. Let's go back to a7, hitting his rook. I'm trying to play more practically in these 5-minute games. So just making quicker decisions, easier decisions, not getting caught up on positional details so much, let's say. Just trying to make quicker decisions and apply the pressure. Let's go here, attacking this. He's putting the brakes on my b-pawn. I think that's a good idea. Probably what will happen is I'll have to trade my b-pawn for the d-pawn. Like in this position, for instance. I'll go rook d1. Trying to take the pawn. I mean, he can win b3, but then we get into like what looks to be a pretty drawish position. When the material distribution is reduced to the same side of the board, like if we just start operating on the king side only, with me having E, F, G, and H pawns, and him having just F, G, H. Even if he's up the exchange, it probably doesn't matter too much. So if you're trying to hold a draw down material, like a pawn or two, it's usually better if you can localize the struggle to one area of the board. Okay, I'll take on D6 with the rook. Just don't want to experience back rank trouble. Yeah, like I wonder if he's going to check me and then check me on C1 and try to organize something on the back rank. Well, that's a risk we'll have to take. He can't check me on D1, which is nice. So if he wants to check me, he has to start with the rook or play Queen B1 first. And that's not as dangerous, because let's say he goes Rook C1, King G2, Queen B1. At least then I could be escaping. Yeah, I mean, just check here and then check on F1. He maybe can cause me some trouble. What if I go Rook D8? I'm not getting mated, right? Let's do this. So if he checks G1, I run to H3. He checks F1, King H4. I'd love to just walk my king in and just mate him, but that's not going to happen.
Check.
Yeah, he's doing the practical thing.
Check.
Probably we're headed for a draw now.
Check.
I don't think I should get greedy and try to win this.
Check.
I don't have grounds to do that. Yeah, he offered a draw. I'll take it. Let me just check at the end. Yeah, don't think there's any like the only way I could practically do something here is if I was able to organize an attack on F7, but I mean he could always come back and defend F5 if needed, like Queen F5 or something. Okay, so let's have a look and see how I became disoriented with this move order. Because this is a line that I don't know what caused me to. Oh, okay. Yeah, I think I was talking and I just didn't realize what was going on. So Rook E1 is an okay move when they haven't fianchettoed this bishop in order to prepare E4. Or even when they have fianchettoed this bishop, it's okay. But in this exact position, it's better for white to play D4 right away. And then we'll get a position like I had in the game, but I haven't committed my rook yet. And then they go D6 usually, and white plays Rook D1. Black goes Knight BD7. This is a nice setup for him. It's a double fianchetto setup. B3 is usually played. And black tries to exhaust his useful moves before he commits to castling. Because if he castles too soon, it gives white grounds to play Queen H4 and try to go Bishop H6. Often in conjunction with like Knight G5 or Bishop H3 and then Knight G5 and try to organize some sort of pressure against black's king. And likewise, like white doesn't want to commit to Queen H4 too early, as I was saying, because Queen H4 too early. I've had a couple games. I remember several years back, I was trying to do an early Queen H4 against Yardbird on ICC, Eric Lovron. He's a grandmaster, and he was always playing H6 in reply, which is what you're supposed to do. And then it's kind of uncomfortable for white because G5 might be a move, and the queen is running out of useful squares. But white should definitely play Rook D1, and then Knight BD7, B3, Rook C8, Bishop B2, A6, Rook AC1, and now castles finally. This is like the tabia. Queen H4, and here the move is Rook C7, preparing Queen B8 typically. And there's a specific reason for Queen B8. It's kind of, we're getting pretty far into this line, but it's to prepare B5, believe it or not. Like say white goes, oh, I don't know, H3, Queen B8, G4. This is not the best line for white, but black can play B5, and it works out tactically. It does not lose a pawn because after C takes B5, A takes B5, Knight takes B5, what can black do to win material? You can pause your recording if you like, if you want to figure it out for yourself. So black to move and win material. Okay, the answer is Rook takes C1, Rook takes C1, Bishop takes F3 with a discovered attack on the knight. And that's why black wants their queen on B8, not A8, as a lot of people think. I've analyzed this line with people before, and they're always under the delusion, well, not always, but some people are under the delusion that Rook C7 is played in order to enable Queen A8. It's not true. The queen belongs on B8. Sometimes it will go to A8, but more often it goes to B8. So anyways, this is like double fianchetto theory. I have no clue why I didn't recognize that that was the aim of black's play to get into this. Rook E1 just turned out to be a wasted move. Because now e4 is not really a move white wants to play. I want to keep my diagonal open for my bishop. I don't want to shut it down. So that was kind of silly of me. So I just bit the bullet and played rook d1 anyways, admitting to a loss of tempo. And he's doing completely fine now. b5 seems like a good move. Let's just check the engine and see what it says. Yeah, it already thinks that he's a little bit better now. So I went here trying for counterplay against that pawn on a7. He can play knight c5, huh? Oh, trying to trap the queen. I see. So if I take here, he has rook a8. That's clever. And then I'd have to take on c5 and give up the exchange, and this is probably just winning for black, technically. So there might be a nuance that he can maintain an edge with. He took on f3. That's kind of what I was expecting. But yeah, this position is probably okay for me. In fact, the computer thinks I'm a little bit better. It's hard to know. These situations are interesting because, yeah, this b pawn is a pass pawn. And it seems like I'm in a good position to use it. Right? Like I've got my bishop controlling the b7 square. I've got plenty of heavy pieces to support it from behind. But if he puts the brakes on it, like my pawn never advanced beyond b3. If he puts the brakes on it, it can easily become a weak pawn. Because remember, passed pawns are often isolated pawns too. So their status can be quite fluid, whether they're a strength or a weakness. Yeah, rook b4 I think was a good move. I'm kind of surprised the computer thinks it's dead equal. To me, this looks like black is having all the fun because this plan is pretty simple. Like knight c5 and then queen b8 or something. I guess he might have some trouble with e7, but just pressure against the b pawn, try to win that pawn. So this was a controversial decision, whether to do queen takes d7 or not. But as I said, I'm trying to make more practical decisions in these faster games. And I kind of like that. Like if queen takes b8, rook takes b8, I think I'm going to lose this pawn long term. I mean, maybe not right away. I can go e3 according to the engine, and I guess I have bishop d1. But this is such a passive and thankless position to defend. I don't like my chances of holding this position, honestly. Like, presumably down a little time, playing against a grandmaster. I don't like it. At least with the way I did it, I sacrifice 1 point of material, but I win the e7 pawn. I give him the d6 pawn, or I inflict the isolated d6 pawn. There's a good chance the d and b pawns will be exchanged for each other, as happened in the game. And then the struggle is localized to one wing, the king side. And with me having a slight imbalance, like the good bishop, him having the rook, and also if I can keep some pieces on the board, as I was trying to do, I think I have decent chances to draw. That's what happened in the game.
Check.
Yeah, so it's very nice that he can't lead with his queen in creating a battery on the first rank and attacking my king. Like, let's just say, ignore the fact that the engine's going to just immediately jump up in evaluation and say, white's completely winning when I play queen d1.
Check.
Because of rook takes d1. But ignore the fact that I can do that. So let's say I had to play this, and then he can go here. Compared to the game when he had the queen on b1 and the rook on c1, this is stronger because now he's actually threatening queen f1 mate. So I don't have time to do rook d8. I would just get mated. So fortunately, though, I do cover the d1 square, so that's not possible for him.
Check.
He had to settle for the less desirable battery of rook and queen, and now he's only threatening rook g1, which my king like scampers away. Yeah, and it looks like I made the right call with rook d8. If I was being like more ambitious / reckless, I would play like rook f6 or something and try to go bishop d5, but that would be pushing my luck, clearly. Oh yeah, because I guess he can,
check.
When he does this,
check.
He can maybe pick up the f2 pawn, so yeah. That's just a fleeting thought. I wasn't ever seriously considering that.
Check.
Yeah, and this
check.
is a perpetual. I mean, he can go f6, but I still check
check.
on d7. If he wants to run to h6, I can always check on h3. It's like a pendulum. White has a perpetual. So, okay, I hope you guys enjoyed this game against Mega ZZ from Down Under. And I'll be back tomorrow with another Blitz game. Thank you for watching, guys. Bye.